per usual, I think you're hating. Per usual, in regards to when WWE makes moves,
This
and
is stupid. This
but
is just dumb.
there's nothing stupid about this.
It is what? Nothing stupid about this at all. Not one thing is stupid.
Well,
All right, let's.
we're gonna get into it.
Tag show.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to a special episode of the Mixed Tag Show. I'm
Jenna. You're Jenna. I know that one.
and you are.
I'm Blue. I'm getting in there. Yeah.
Did you say it? Did you say your
Yeah, I
name?
said Blue.
Oh, okay. You kind of lied at that point. Make sure you follow us on Instagram, TikTok at the Mixed Tag Show. Also
Twitter
on
too.
Twitter, Twitter X, same
Twitter.
thing at the Mixed. Whatever. You got to change the icon here at the Mixed Tag Show. And yeah, let's get right on into it.
Oh yeah, we do.
We didn't.
I
Yeah,
gotta
you
do
gotta
that.
change it to an X. Gotta change it to
Not
an
a
X.
bird no more.
Well, yeah, let's get right. Not a bird no more. Let's get right into it. You know, we didn't plan on recording, but some chain of events have occurred, and
Some
you
shit
and I
happened.
were talking, and I was like, this is perfect for us to discuss this. You have your thoughts in regards to all of this. I find you to be, per usual, WWE hater, but you know, you'll state your case, and
Some shit went down.
some shit went down. So we'll discuss it. What did you think about Survivor Series? Did you
It was
get a
alright.
chance to watch it? Okay.
It was cool. I got some recaps of it.
Mhm.
I think, of course, the men's match stole the night. The in between could have been without, in a sense.
Which match stole
Like
the night? You said.
the men's WarGames.
Okay.
You know, Cody returning and all that stuff. Not Cody, sorry.
Cody or
Randy.
Randy?
Randy returning and all that stuff. But the in between
Yeah.
could have been, without. I feel like LA Knight being your biggest guy, one of your biggest, crowd favorites, not having a spot on this card it's wild. He could have had a match against Jay Uso. Jay or Jimmy?
Well, Jimmy was in WarGames, so Jay was in WarGames.
Okay. Making sure I was right.
Yeah. So
Yeah, Damage
he
Control
against
versus Team
Jimmy.
Bianca was decent. I guess we saw the reunion of Becky and Charlotte.
Mhm.
How do you think that's gonna play out?
Well, I agree. I think the men's WarGames was the match of the night. I do think I found a couple of things interesting. More like mentioning with the women's match. I thought it was a good match, but the thing between, not to say Charlotte and Becky hasn't reconciled behind the scenes, but it was just when they embraced each other, it seemed so phony in a sense, right?
Hollywood.
So who knows if this was a whole work
Production.
shoot, this beef between them. But when I guess it was Becky went in for the hug and Charlotte's embracing her, but it's kind of like Charlotte's like trying to like kind of get, or maybe they're playing into it, like they're still like trying to figure it out, but we're in this together. So maybe that's what it is. I just felt that whole embracing thing was I thought it was awkward, but something that Michael Cole said that you had alluded to, I believe, in a couple of episodes ago, we were talking about Damage Control, that Dakota Kai seems to be the leader of some sorts.
Yeah.
And over the past few weeks. So I was like, I found that interesting that they mentioned that, and this is playing into, does Bailey get kicked out of Damage Control? This is when Bailey finally turns face. We haven't seen her face in quite a couple of years. It's been about 4 years or so. So I find it very interesting that was mentioned. I didn't like the fact that Becky took the pin, because remember, at the end of the day, Becky was
Bailey?
the last one included. They needed someone
for
for this match. Yeah, it didn't make sense because it wasn't necessarily her beef, even though she has beef with Damage Bailey and the other girls of Damage Control. It wasn't her beef to be the last one to take the pin. So
Right.
that was my only thing in that sense. But all in all, the women per usual put on a great match, and I just don't know where it goes from here. Well, I think we will see now the cracks with Damage Control now that they
Definitely.
lost, right? And again, like
Definitely.
you said, with it being mentioned that kind of Dakota has been like the leader of sorts. So that was cool. Um, I don't know what else interested you in regards to the pay per view or the
Just in
PLE.
the like,
Excuse me. Sorry.
probably a live event. Like you said, the women's match, it's gonna be interesting to see how, because again, Bailey took the pin, so clearly they're about to blame this on Bailey, not paying attention to the fact that she took a spear for Asuka. You know what I mean? Like she didn't even want to be. She didn't want Asuka to be a part of it, or she didn't know about Asuka joining, whatever the case may be. But she was a team player and took a spear for Asuka and got left high and dry, in a sense. And she's gonna be
Yep.
she's gonna be the one that's gonna take the L as well when it comes this Friday, when they're looking at her like, yo, you lost it for us. So
Yeah.
it's like she can't do nothing right with the group at this point.
Yeah.
And
That's
like I said
exactly what
last
it
week,
looks like.
looks like somebody's pulling the strings that's not, from the outside in the sense of Dakota Kai. So the mastermind behind it knows what she's doing. And
Yeah, she is.
I don't think she ever
Dakota
really
Kai is
liked
essentially
Bailey
the
like
like
that.
the puppeteers.
Right. Like I wouldn't be surprised if she put the bug in Io's ear from the beginning. Remember when Io told Bailey, I don't need you at ringside for my title defense. This is probably Io setting up from back then. I would love to see him play into that some more. Just to set up
And
this whole
Kyrie
situation where they take out
and
Bailey.
Kyrie never forgot, right? What it
Yeah,
took a
took
couple of
that
years
beat
ago.
down.
Right. So I can see that all being played into that, which is really dope.
Yeah, so other things that happened on the card would have been like the whole Gunther versus Miz. Let's be honest, did we really think that Gunther was gonna lose the Miz? And that match lasted about like 10 minutes.
No, but the thing is, of course, we didn't think Gunther was going to lose to the Miz, but I do think that it would have been a story because who's been their most decorated intercontinental champion for like the past few years? It has been the
Right.
Miz. The Miz brought popularity and in the forefront when they do when they promote and this, that, and the third. So he definitely gave it its shine out there in the public. But yeah,
Yeah,
I
like
don't see
nah.
anyone losing to Gunther right now. I think it should be a situation at this point. Gunther just kind of like, yo, I don't need this anymore.
Like I've
Like
run through I'm ready to go to the next stage
exactly
of whatever.
right
Kind of like
because
how Samoa Joe did with the Ring of Honor title. Like
right
he's like,
exactly
so
right.
it'd be interesting.
No,
But I don't know
no, exactly.
now, but I don't know because now the main event is kind of overcrowded in a sense. We'll get into that. The Escobar
My
versus.
only
Go ahead.
got I want to tie this in just so because you know what we're here for really, but I wanted you would talk about Escobar and Dragon Lee real quick, but I wanted to tie this with Gunther and then the rematch. It's it's my gripe I've been saying for the past couple of weeks in the sense of there's no title changes. It's literally everyone
Yeah,
is holding this title to probably to WrestleMania season. Not probably, the
yeah.
WrestleMania season is coming up, right? So it's annoying in the sense that there's
You
so
know what's
much it's
happening.
stagnant, right? It's stagnant with every title. You have
Yeah,
this title that's not being defended, you have that title that's not being stagnant. I like what Triple H is doing in regards to being in charge of creative, but
story.
there needs to be some type of like detour when it comes to WrestleMania. Not everyone should have to hold a title for damn near 6 months to a year. That's my
Yeah,
only thing. I don't. I'm not saying it should be a new champion every week, but okay, some people don't need to be the champion for
this long.
this long. So whether it's Gunther giving up his title or Rhea being
Not Rhea.
there
Rhea's
being an
gone.
upset with that. I know Rhea's Rhea, but I'm just give me something.
Yeah,
That's
you need something to
like
look forward to.
right. I mean, Rhea losing to Zoe Starks, I would have been like, all right, what we doing?
Nah, it didn't
But
make no sense because she just lost in the 5-way in Saudi. So it's just like you're gonna beat her
right,
1-on-1. I don't think so. Like,
right, mommy's still on top, and I love the growth that Rhea has taken from when she was sparring with Sasha 4 years ago in Chicago at Survivor
right,
Series, right? How she's taken a leap into like being literally top top three, maybe when it comes into the WWE's women's division. But they got to be something for me with the titles. That's my thing. If you're not
yeah,
gonna do the brand versus brand thing, give me something a little with titles that all right, this person dropped and this person retained. Just switch it up. But that was kind of why I wanted to bring that together since
and that's my point with the Gunther versus Miz, Escobar versus Dragon Lee, and Rhea Ripley versus Stark. All of this was just like thrown into the wind. It had no reason or rhyme behind it. I know they had
right,
small stories behind it, but we could have had one of your biggest, like I mentioned before, one of your biggest stars, a late night have a match. You know what I mean? Like you could use Survivor Series a little bit more to try to fit in. What is this? 5 matches on a card with 2 war games.
right,
I mean, the don't get me twisted. The format worked in NXT. That's what it did, right? Give
sure,
you beginning and end, and in between give you some meat. But that meat in between, you loved it because it was like title defenses, that really mattered, like the tag team titles, or the US title and the title change, or they had a story going in. In this case, it was just like, all right, like I know what's gonna
right,
happen. Let's get to the main event now. We got the women's war games.
right,
Let's just get to the main event, and that's
right.
not good for a card.
Right.
Um,
I mean, listen, it was it in all, if you gave if I had to rate it, and I don't know what I'll ask you in after like would you rate it like on a letter scale? I give it a B in the sense
yeah,
of
I give it a
they were
B.
good right? They were good matches, but everything that you just said was correct in the sense of like, yeah, you got to give us a little bit more with meat and potatoes. Again, going back to 2019 for that Survivor Series, that was because then you included NXT, so there was just a lot going on. So if it wasn't going to be title defenses, there was a whole lot more in the middle while we waited for the main part of
Right.
the PLE. So I agree 1,000%. There had to be a little bit more in the sense of suspense or this change and not so stagnant.
Oh, one more thing about the women's match that I didn't like. I'll say this before we jump into the men's match. Is that they
Mhm.
gave the crowd control to pick who goes first in entering in the order, but it kind of
Mhm.
defeated the purpose of war games. The purpose of war games is for the heel to always have the advantage against the face, and then find out if the face can overcome it. In this case, we had the face leading the way, so it kind of made the match fall a little bit lopsided in a sense. I guess that was just to set up Bailey from the start to fail.
Maybe.
I don't know,
Maybe.
but it just
Maybe.
threw the whole vibe of the match off. You know what I mean? Because now as we transition into the men's match, the heels had the advantage, and
Did,
it was at a and the
did
face
you
was
want
definitely at
anything with Santos and Dragon Lee or no? Because I know you weren't.
no. That's what I'm saying. The match was why like this could happen on SmackDown. Like, no offense to the two wrestlers, I know they're amazing.
Ah,
They're
no, yeah,
amazing to do what they
it was
do,
yeah,
regardless, right? But
and
it's just like this
Santos
could have
was
happened on SmackDown.
disrespectful. Yeah.
This could have
He was
happened on
disrespectful with the
SmackDown.
mask and everything, but I
Yeah,
agree. Yeah,
yeah. But it's the heel tactics. You trying to build Santos up? That's cool. You SmackDown for that. You don't bring this to the pay per view to try to have
right,
this type of match.
right. Yeah, I hear you.
Um,
I agree.
so going back to the men's match, like I said, go straight like the bread. That's the main part, right? The meat
Hmm.
is supposed to enhance the bread, but it didn't work. So let's go back to bread. The face was at a disadvantage because where's Randy Orton? Everybody else was there. Randy chilling in
Yeah,
the back. They're like, "Yo, is Randy
which
even
is
here?"
how, which is how war games essentially. Yeah,
Yeah,
what you were saying in regards to women's match. Yeah, first of all, Randy looked freaking
ripped.
ripped. I mean, this is like Randy from pre 2010. I feel like, right? Like this
That man
man
was
was
out
just
there
man was out here
coming from back
cut up.
surgery. That's amazing.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. But listen, he had all this time to recover, so he looked amazing, and the way the crowd popped to him, that was dope. And you see now this in regards to the pin, right? Cody took the pin, but that made sense because
It's the passing
Randy
of the
don't
torch.
not even no, not even passing of the torch, but this is not necessarily Randy's fight. So it
No, but
doesn't make sense for Randy to take the pin. Like going back to what with Becky and Becky taking the pin, it's not necessarily Becky's fight for her to take it, like we were mentioning. So this was done right, where I'm gonna do my flashy RKO's and this, that,
what
and
I
the
say,
third.
let's not skip the meat of this match. Like they did the
No,
hanging
I'm not
DDTs
skipping.
and they
No,
did
I'm
the
not
they did
skipping
the
that. I'm
RK
just
off the
on.
top. This was
Well,
like
that's what
chef
I'm
kiss of
saying.
a match.
I'm not skipping it. All I'm saying is this, in regards to fluidity and how the match essentially should have went with the women's match.
Right.
Do I have your attention? I don't know. Do I have your
I
attention?
do. I told you what's happening on my Monopoly Go right now. I got like a couple of more minutes left, and I need to hurry up and finish this pie before I get this gold thing. Go ahead. I got you. I'm listening.
Okay. All right. So no, all I'm saying is I'm not skipping the meat and potatoes of the match. All I'm saying is that I'm assisting you, an old friend. You needed my help. I'm assisting you, but I'm not gonna sit here and take the pin because it's not necessarily my fight. You do it,
Right.
and that's I like that the fluidity in that sense when it came to that match.
Yeah, they did again. Like I said, they had some dope moments in this match. There was almost a cash in, which is what really brought Randy out to stop it when they thought they had the upper hand. The hanging DDTs, the homage to Randy. Everybody doing the hanging DDTs and
Yeah,
JD trying to escape and throwing him off the top for an RKO. That was chef kiss.
yeah.
But I didn't think about it the way you did. I thought of it more so like Randy did that, and then he handed Priest over to Cody more so like, all right, this is your moment. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, we're building you up type thing, like a pass. Because again, going back into, legacy, like, all right, now this is your show now. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what I took it as. Like, I don't need this. You got this. This is you.
It's I don't think we're saying anything necessarily different.
Different.
That I like. Yeah, I like that. That could be the thing too. But with all that said too, this is your fight, so this is your moment.
Yeah.
So all in all, I love the unselfishness of Randy in that sense. And
the only thing I didn't like about that is it made Seth look small. Like, this is Team Cody. This is
I get
what I'm
it.
saying?
He's
Like,
the champion.
he's the champ. Like, the music is playing. It's Cody. Everybody's, you know what I'm saying? Like, this is what I would be saying. Like, what's the point of having this title if it's not going to get the respect that it deserves, or the person that's carrying is not getting the respect that it deserves? I get it. I get it. It's the WarGames, and this was his team. Seth should have never been a part of it then. Seth should have been doing his own thing.
But Steph's a part of it because he has his beef with Judgment Day and Drew McIntyre. That's essentially why he was a part of it. But I get it. I understand what you're saying. If you're the champion, you should probably be the leader or not leader, but you should have more prominent role. But then he did, because Seth was like, him and Cody were slightly in mid argument, like, where is he? Blah blah blah. So it's the champion still taking charge in that sense. Whereas in the women's match, EO's not necessarily in the forefront. Go ahead.
Nah, she's the puppet. You know what I loved? I would have loved if they would have just did Seth versus Drew 1-on-1 and have those two be replaced, because there was no point of Drew joining freaking Judgment Day at this point. Because he just stormed up. They should have had their own match.
Yeah.
And then pick two more people to join each side. You could still did Randy. You could have put Kevin Owens in there if you wanted to. You could have, you know what I'm saying? Like, there's ways you could have did this. Like, Seth should have had his own moment. He shouldn't have been on that team. Because again, it's about the cash in. It's not
True.
real beef. He's just
Well,
trying to avoid a cash in.
well, outside of that, yes, but there's also ongoing beef with Drew McIntyre. But yes, I agree in the sense because when I was watching the match, I was like, how long is this partnership going to last with Drew McIntyre and Judgment Day? Because it doesn't
Right.
necessarily seem like this is going to be a long-term thing, which it probably isn't. Maybe Drew had his motive. Like at the end of the day, Rhea, who's the real leader of Judgment Day, had her motives of making them look strong as possible and protect Priest, so Priest can do his
Cash in.
cash in, right? So that avoids one less person trying to cash in on Priest. And then Drew probably is using Judgment Day in the sense of how can I get myself still to Seth rather if I have this protection. So there's a lot of moving parts in that sense. And I hear what you're saying in regards to they should have had their own match, but
That'd have been perfect.
yeah, but War Games is War Games. You got to make it very star studded, even though it was, but it just seemed right to have Seth in there because outside of Drew, he's had his issues with Judgment Day in general.
Well, I guess we held it off as much as we can, right? Let's talk about it.
I mean, you clearly let it be known that you were not happy with this move, and again, I find it that you're anytime WWE does something that's remotely like make a big move, it's not met with oh shit, this is dope, whatever. So go ahead, the floor is yours,
I
buddy.
know you can't. I don't think you can really say that because there's been times when I've given them the prop they deserve, right?
Such as
I didn't know my speaker was on, so I was gonna pull up the clip, let the people see what happened. I don't know if you want to do that.
yeah, for sure, definitely. Let's touch bases with that.
I don't. Let me see.
I mean, it's just looking at my face right now, but yeah. Well, in the meantime, I guess.
All right, that's it. That's what we're gonna do.
It's wild because I hear the tail end of it, and then when it finishes, all I see is Bleacher Report, the website.
Yeah,
so I didn't get the
Bleacher
clip.
Report.
So when I saw it, it's fine.
But
yeah, so CM Punk returned home. If you want to call it that, that's what Triple H dubbed it in the presser. You find this stupid. Why is it stupid?
Again, I'm not gonna lie. This is a personal situation where I feel like he's not. It's stupid because I'm trying to find the best way because as you see last week, I got in trouble. So, like some people agree with what I said last week. Some people got upset with what I said last week. So I'm trying to pick my words carefully so people can understand what I'm saying.
Stand on what you say.
No, I'm gonna say I'm trying to find the proper way so that everybody can understand. Because last week people didn't. They just misunderstood what I said. Some people got it. Shout out to O'Shea Jackson. He knew what I meant. You know. Yeah.
No. This is listen, even like people that be in your corner would DM me on some like, listen, normally I agree with a lot of things that Blue says.
But that's because they didn't understand.
Yeah, but the people that normally feel you on stuff wasn't
because they didn't understand what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. I'm trying to choose my words carefully this time.
Go ahead.
Clearly, whatever I used last week, it went over a lot of people's head. Just to clarify real quick, last week I said to the people that watches outside of WWE, this is as big. He's the biggest star as Roman to them, not as the same stage as Roman because WWE has its own vehicle, which makes their own stars. Anyway,
we're not gonna go too off topic with that. But my point is like that's not the case when there's other people such as Kenny Omega, freaking MJF that you maybe even like. I don't know, maybe even Jay White that feel that on a whole nother level above
But
Will
Will Ospreay has
Ospreay.
done that for the past few years. Anyway,
Okay, okay. Go ahead.
let's not go back there.
Go
Um,
ahead if you want to. If you want to go watch the
yeah, go back and watch that
our
one.
conversation, go watch that episode. I don't know if did you put the segment up as on its own.
No, it was holiday week.
That's
I
fine.
was
So
getting
we're
ready for Thanksgiving.
we're
I'll
still
bring it up.
dropping.
I'll
We're
bring it up
dropping
sometime
clips.
soon.
We're dropping
Anyway,
clips
back
this
to
week.
this. When it comes to Mr. CM Punk, because to me,
Before you
it's
even
like
continue, I'm sorry. I didn't even know CM stood for Chicago Made. That literally went over my head.
it's not. He said in the interview that it stands for different things. It stands for Chick Magnet. It stands for Chicago Made. It stands for a few other things. He mentioned this in a WWE documentary back in the day that
No,
it
did
has
he?
different meanings. Yeah.
Okay, but even still, Chicago Made is phenomenal. Anyway, go ahead, continue.
Um, it's just interesting to me that he would come back here. Like I told you, the first time when he had issues at AEW, and I heard that he was trying to go back to WWE, I already knew that this is a possibility.
Mhm.
The only thing I was holding it up at the time was Triple H and Vince, who was not for it. I mean, he made attempts, and they was like, "Nah, we good." And this is like when he was still signed. You know what I'm saying? Like when he first got to, you know what I'm saying? So the reason why I say this is stupid is because at the same time, this could be great. He's a star. He can bring the eyes to your product, cool, whatever the case may be. But you saw the type of energy and vibes he's brought to past locker rooms. And regardless of what people want to say and want to think about how these companies view each other and they have enemies and all like that, these people have friends in the same locker room.
Sure.
So I feel like whatever vibes that he gave off to certain people at other locker rooms, it's gonna carry over because those friends know what they went through. I'm not gonna touch on anything else in terms of what's not public knowledge because it's not my place to do so. But like this is a disaster waiting to happen. Outside of that, when my personal
Okay.
feelings aside, I will
Okay.
say this will be interesting when it comes to WWE TV because now your main event is stacked. You have Randy Orton back, you got CM Punk back, you got Seth Rollins, you got Roman Reigns, you got Cody Rhodes, Drew McIntyre while he's still there. Like Kevin Owens can play a part. Like you have a very great pool because now when you go into Royal Rumble, who wins with Royal Rumble? So this could be
Well,
an amazing story.
sure. And this is everything. Every time for the past few years,
See, I
I've
get them
always
props. Don't be saying I don't be giving props.
and I appreciate it. Now now we can have a conversation. Nah, but and I've been saying this, and you've been alluding to this in our like for how many years we've been doing this podcast for. This is what was done in the Attitude Era. This was done in the Ruthless Aggression Era. There's there's so many different ways people to pick from in regards to lead the way, and it doesn't mean that the person leads the way for the whole year. That's the thing that I feel like Triple H is having an issue with in regards to booking. Again, it doesn't mean someone has to have them run in the spotlight for a whole year. It can mean that they have their run for 4 months, and then there's someone for the next 4 months, and then you get what I'm saying. So it doesn't
Yep.
necessarily have to be that, or someone could be 6 months of the year, but just switch it up. So this is a great problem to have, and I've had this conversation with my friend, just going off tangent slightly. It has nothing to do with wrestling, but more so when people do wrong in the public eye, we're quick to cancel people. We're quick to write people off and not give people grace. Again, my sentiments are just as everyone else that CM Punk has essentially been a problem, more so within the AEW locker room. I'm not sure I don't recall him being a problem necessarily in the WWE locker room. It's just that
Was.
regardless, he was younger. Same thing with AEW was another different experience. Who's to say the hour long conversation that him and Hunter had? I don't know if there. I mean, I know he had a conversation with Tony Khan. I don't know. It's just always giving someone the benefit of the doubt. That's all I'm saying. And maybe this could be, maybe it's a short contract, so it like kind of like a short leap stick type of thing. What in sports, right? You see people players get signed, and it's kind of like a low risk, high reward thing. Maybe this is what this is. This is. There was no way that CM Punk in Chicago Survivor Series, it writes itself. So in that sense, I don't think that's stupid. If you have a chance to bring eyeballs to your product and really change the landscape
No, that's
of
what I said. On a
wrestling.
business point, it
No,
makes
no, no.
sense.
I'm
I'm
not
talking about.
saying that. Yeah, from so a business standpoint, yeah, you have to try it, and we know with WWE, never say never. Everyone
Yeah,
literally
of course.
everyone literally comes back, and
Right.
the things are amended and whatever. So it was going to happen. Anyone who thought this was never going to happen, even for CM Punk to even say this, it had to be a cold day in hell and this, that, and the third.
But that's why I
Things
say
change.
this is. That's why I say it's stupid, because this was literally your whole shtick.
But
This was
people
your whole.
change. But this people
No,
change.
hold on,
People change. People
hold on,
change.
hold on. This is literally your whole shtick for the past how many years? As recent as a few months ago, this has always been your shtick. That this place, this place, almost killed you, emotionally
Well,
killed you, mentally killed you, took your love away. And how many times we hear the spew, right? That was his whole shtick, right?
okay. Right.
And then first chance you get, you go back. It's like Stockholm syndrome. Like you went back to your
But is
captive
it
that you
but it
claimed that almost killed you.
but is it Stockholm syndrome in the sense of if Laurinaitis is not there and Vince doesn't have the power? Someone said this on Twitter, and I'm like, this is true. Hunter is like kind of like a player's coach, where everyone, you remember when Vince made his way back into WWE after all that, and then there was reports like the locker room wasn't happy. People were happy with Hunter being calling the shots and stuff like that. So he's also not an active wrestler anymore. So people change in whether it's them changing, their situations change. We don't know anybody's situation that at one minute they were standing on this and now they're doing this. I don't think the doctor that he what's the doctor's name
Sued.
that's been in WWE? Yeah, he's not there. Like, maybe it's a thing of when they had this conversation, yo, this is how the culture has changed with WWE. We don't like this happens in sports too. People leave, and then all of us, because a team traded them, and then remember the whole thing with LeBron and the owner, and he was bashing him when he went to Miami, and then when he came back, all was forgiven. So it's just we don't know
Yeah.
with situations that are
I
that
didn't like that
occur.
either.
Right, but it's
That's
not
the
for
same
you to
thing.
like. It's not for you to like.
I know.
It's
It's not
someone's
for me.
situation, right? It's not for you. Sometimes it is what it is. You don't know what someone's family situation with and money helps, right?
Yeah,
let's
money
keep it
always help, right?
100. Money helps. If you sit here and say, "Yo, we're gonna give you this, that, and the third. We're gonna give you creative control or whatever," things change. Shit, I wouldn't even be like I told you all when we were texting. In a few years from now, John Moxley making his way to WWE, things change, especially with Vince not having the control that he used to have. You don't think more people are not willing to come back to WWE? You don't think someone like in the name of like Mercedes, formerly known as Sasha Banks, running it back now all of a sudden? Things change. Things
Right.
change.
Like, but
So that's
again, never say.
that,
But the
now
thing is,
my only thing. Hold on, my only thing is whatever issues, like personal issues, I hope there's a thing of that they're like as adults, as men or women, whoever, yo, let's talk this out. How can we have a professional working relationship so our personal business, whatever issues we had, doesn't affect the art? That's my only thing when it comes to all of this. Because as we've seen, there's been a lot of viral clips your man's Seth Rollins didn't look happy, but I feel
People are saying it's a
that's a
work,
work.
but
There's a work because then also, shout out to my loving boyfriend because he really wants to go at it with you and and you know
I know he
give a
loves
chance to
WWE. I know we gotta have a conversation. We gotta have a conversation very soon.
maybe sooner than later. But with that said, he was like, make sure you say this, and I was like, all right, I got you. It was you mentioned with the whole thing with Sean Ross Sapp with that apparently they weren't privy about this, and then fast forward a few hours later, they were told what was going to happen right before the main event, so they knew. So it just sounds like, listen, let's ramp this up. My thing is, the only reason why I thought it was a shoot, because as far as I'm concerned, Rollins is a face. But then,
There was also
you
F
know,
bombs.
but like I said, I thought Rollins was a face. But Cody let me know that this man is a tweener. This man is, and he's still listed as a heel. And I was like, oh, so because it doesn't make sense as to why a face is so angry about anyone returning. So maybe it was just work playing it up. Now you have your WrestleMania main event night one. I don't know.
The reason why I realized that it was a work is when I watched one of the videos back and they're clearly looking at the ramp waiting for something to happen in the ring. And again, the reason why I thought it was work is a shoot is because he's using F-bombs. You don't usually use F-bombs in WWE. So that's like Seth has always been the one. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, all the middle fingers, and Seth has always been the one anyway. He goes over and beyond and he delivers, right?
Sure.
So I won't be surprised if that's the first adversary for CM Punk. Seth could be a professional. He know how to put his things to the side and handle his situation.
Sure.
I laughed when you said that. I laughed that you said that with the conversation wise, is because that was one of the things that failed on AEW side, is that Punk wasn't open to conversation. So it was just made things. Hopefully, he learned from that going into the situation, because this will be held. WWE is a $1 billion company. They will handle things a whole lot different than what AEW can, because WWE have the experience, they have the knowledge, and they know what to do. So that was new for AEW. They handled it the best they can in their opinion.
Exactly.
But yeah, Punk can't go in this like saying he did with AEW. You can't go in there and try to boss people around. You can't go in there and try to bully people. Like that was the only issue that I had with him when it came to AEW, was that they gave you everything you wanted and you somehow still found a way to fuck it up. They gave you your own show that you pick who comes there. They gave you your own title. They gave you everything, and you still found a way to fuck it up. So that's why I'm like, you better come correct in this aspect. And this is what happens.
No, I mean, listen, you're right. You're right in that sense. Yeah, the difference between AEW, like what you keep alluding to, that they're still very much new. So it's not necessarily it's a well-oiled machine, but it's not the years and decades of experience that WWE has. So, and I think CM Punk manipulated that in the sense of like, well, they've been chanting my name for all these years. Yeah, I'm gonna come in here and I'm gonna do this,
do what I want.
Do what I want. WWE is different. It's different. There's too many well-established people that are bigger than you. Like, let's keep it 100. CM Punk's gripe, his first thing with WWE was he wanted to main event. You got there's still people.
Wait, he's still not gonna have it.
Listen, it's about to be December. We're gonna get.
I don't know if we're getting
a bit. Hold on. December, they're gonna do TLC. I don't know what pay-per-view is gonna happen. Now January is Royal Rumble, so now there's the man could win Royal Rumble.
He can't win Royal Rumble.
Why can't he win Royal Rumble? Why?
How else are you gonna set up Cody versus Roman?
Cody could win Elimination Chamber. Cody already won.
Nah.
Cody already won.
Nah.
Cody already won Royal
Nah.
Rumble, so why would he win again? I mean, I know
What does
it's
winning
been
the
done.
Elimination Chamber gonna do?
Set him up to face
Well,
Roman.
the Elimination Chamber is gonna be a number
And
one
you act like
contenders match.
you act like it's never been done before. It's been
Yes.
done.
So hold on, time out. So you're saying is Elimination
A chance
Chamber
to
number
face
one contender,
Roman. Go ahead.
a chance to face Roman, Elimination Chamber match.
Why not?
So they're
Seriously,
gonna
why
pick
not?
they're gonna pick 3 from Raw, 3 from SmackDown.
Sure, why not? What's wrong with that? Honestly, what's wrong with that?
That's a pretty good idea.
Thank you.
I was gonna argue it, but I'm like, that's a pretty good idea.
Thank you. Exactly. What's wrong with that? So CM Punk,
I still think they should just do, because he's gonna come in at 30. CM Punk's gonna come in at 30. His first match is gonna be Royal Rumble, and they got to set up him versus Rollins another way. He can't win the Royal Rumble.
But you don't have to. But you can't. So hold on. You can't. You don't. There's no other. Why would you need to set up him and Rollins another way? Matter of fact, Cody sent me a podcast that he was on, that he was getting at Seth, calling him, when Seth, I guess, called him a cancer in the locker room, and he's like, if it wasn't for him, you'd be getting jobbed out to Braun Strowman. It was him that said he should be in the Shield. And remember that whole storyline of Punk needing, enforcers, and that was what the Shield was for him. So
yeah, I understand. I get the backstory.
Is this okay? So with the backstory,
no, what I'm saying is
everything is, the proof is in the pudding.
What I'm saying is
the proof is in the pudding.
You can set this up without having Punk win the Royal Rumble. I don't even think. Sure. I already don't even like Cody winning the Royal Rumble, because Royal Rumble should be setting up somebody that doesn't usually get the chance to win the chance, right? I feel like this is the easiest route.
No, because that's what Money in the Bank is typically for.
They swallow that too. But I think the line for Cody should be the same. I feel like Punk and Seth can make it be a little bit more creative to get there to WrestleMania night. Whether Punk costs him the title, whatever, the title doesn't have to be on the line for this.
Okay, but
and I think, and like you said, holding titles too long. So now we gotta wait for Seth to hold the title all the way to WrestleMania, which is like gonna give him a year.
But we know that's going to be the case regardless. So yeah, I agree with you in that sense. But
don't change it up. Don't make it so obvious.
Well, but we know that's what they're going to do. So again, so hold on. So for Royal Rumble and for WrestleMania, if we're saying Cody can't win it back to back.
I didn't say that. He said he can. I said I didn't like it, but that's the route for him.
But I'm saying, no, you get what I mean, in the sense of, he shouldn't win it back to back,
right?
And you're saying CM Punk shouldn't win the Royal Rumble. Who is going to be? Because the whole purpose of Royal Rumble is to whoever wins is going to face main event, whatever, and face whoever is holding said title. So now, who makes sense?
Except in your feud.
But we know that's not happening.
But here's the thing. So here's my idea. Set up a new feud. Let's just use components. Let's say LA Knight is the one that wins Royal Rumble, going to WrestleMania night 1, scheduled to face Seth Rollins. Mm-hmm. If Seth Rollins can get through Elimination Chamber, let's go to Elimination Chamber.
Okay.
Have Seth lose because of Punk. Let Punk be in there as well. Let Punk eliminate him. Give him like a quick second of being a champion, and then eventually lose to whoever is going to face LA Knight at WrestleMania.
I hear what you're saying, but I think LA Knight deserves a more a triumph win. And
whoever he's
hold on, wait. I get it. I get what you're saying, but you don't think a more triumph win for LA Knight? Yes, he winning Royal Rumble. I think he can be a large component into the match, kind of like how Keith Lee was that one time. What was it, in Houston in 2020?
Yeah.
Right. Or remember when Roman was when it was in Philly that one year. No, not that. No, not it was the one. No, because that's when he got booed, and they had the Rock come out and raise his hand.
I was there. Yeah,
but it was. All right. But the year prior to that, remember when it was that Batista one, and then Roman was like that one. LA Knight can be that at Royal Rumble. LA Knight should win money in the Bank briefcase. because you know how Pop be when someone finally cashes in. That could be his moment.
Yeah, but that's usually not safe for faces. They try to avoid the face that win that money they make.
But hey, who knows? I don't know. Maybe by then he's not a face.
Nah, he
Who
can't
knows?
change
But
yet.
no,
He
he can't.
can't
You
change
can't
yet.
change, right? Yeah, that's dumb. He can't change because he's too hot right now.
Yeah, so whoever he's having a beef with going into Royal Rumble, let him face up that person at WrestleMania. Let them win the Elimination Chamber. Because he don't need to be in Elimination Chamber because he already earned his spot at WrestleMania. So he could just fight whoever win the Elimination Chamber and that person have that beef with him. I'm like, yo, I'm gonna win that title just so I can make sure you don't win at WrestleMania.
Yeah, but I think in the situation of righting wrongs, I know we shouldn't necessarily reward bad behavior, but in this industry of entertainment, people get rewarded regardless all the time. But it's a situation of righting a wrong in the sense of Punk never really got his shine to main event in WWE. This is you're beefing with someone who literally has said disparaging stuff outside of whether it's true or not, has said disparaging comments outside.
No, he can still main event 91. He can still main event 91. You've seen it.
But then, but you
the heat is there enough that doesn't need a title. Is my point.
Okay.
And Seth needs to let go of the title. Punk don't need the title. They can still main event night one. We've seen it. Tag teams have made a night one.
That's true. We saw it last year. It wasn't a title that was main evented.
So there you go. Okay. Let AJ Styles come back and feud with LA Knight. He'll give him a great showing.
Yeah. I don't know. Well, I will say it's not stupid. This makes very interesting.
It's stupid for CM Punk's character. That's what I meant. Like for CM Punk, this is stupid. But WWE makes sense. They're gonna make money off of him regardless.
And shit, if they're gonna make money off of him, he gotta make money too. Let's run it back and do this run. People change. Brett has come back after all that BS, right? And Brett was someone that stood on principle.
Yeah,
right?
But Brett wasn't on TV talking shit 6 months ago.
Yeah, but Brett has in the past talked smack. Ultimate Warrior it's been multiple situations throughout the year. People was like on some fuck WWE, fuck Vince, this, that, and the third, and then all of a sudden they run it back. Let's just see, and hopefully wrongs are right. And sorry for the background noise, New York.
I don't hear it, but I'll never hear anything anyway.
All right, that's true. But yeah, so we'll see.
But that's the show. Thank you for listening and watching the Mixed Stack Show. If you haven't already, follow us on the personal at
Miss Jenna Baby, BAYBEE.
Or at Blue Magic Grass by Sound. Follow us on Twitch, Instagram, Instagram, TikTok. There's so much stuff in now. X.
So weird.
At the Mixed Tag Show. On TikTok is an _ at the end. Make sure you go to foryourwear.com/TMTS. Cop yourself Mixed Tag Show shirt, hoodie. Gonna put some more designs up there. I'm the owner, so please support small businesses. Thank you. And that's the show. See you next time. And get prepared for
you plug my stuff in like this.
Go ahead.
The Mixed Tag Show we just blew. If you're interested in fragrances, go ahead and check out Smell Good with Jenna. I post different fragrances that I'm really enjoying. So for men and women.
I'm about to tell you, I bought a Versace cologne.
The one that you showed me, the Eros one?
Yeah, I think so. It smells so good.
Yes, it gets addicting, so be careful. But yeah, that's a good one. It's definitely a good one.
But get prepared for us going live in 2024. If you haven't already, tell a friend to subscribe so we can get this live popping and going. And on that note, I bid you adieu. Goodbye. Mwah. And good night. Bang.
Peace.